The rain hammered against the windows of Castellan architecture, turning downtown Boston into a blur of gray and gold. Maya Chin stood in the lobby, water dripping from her navy trench coat onto the polished concrete floor. Her white silk blouse clung uncomfortably to her shoulders, and her black pencil skirt felt too tight, too formal for someone whose insides were twisting with nerves. She smoothed down her damp hair, pulled back in a severe bun, and stared at her reflection in the glass doors. 29 years old. Starting over. Again. The reception area smelled like expensive leather and fresh paint. Modern art hung on exposed brick walls. Everything here screamed success, permanence, the kind of life Maya had been chasing since she left California 3 years ago. Maya Chin. A woman in a burgundy blazer appeared, clipboard in hand. I'm Rachel. Mr. Castellan is ready for you. Maya's heels clicked against hardwood as she followed Rachel down a hallway lined with architectural sketches. Her portfolio felt heavy in her hands. Everything she had built, condensed into 12 pages of designs and renderings. The corner office door swung open. Time stopped. He stood with his back to her, shoulders broad beneath a fitted black shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows. Dark jeans. No tie. His light brown hair was longer than she remembered, touching his collar. The floor-to-ceiling windows behind him framed the storm outside, lightning cracking the sky in half. Miss Chin is here, Rachel announced. He turned. Those eyes. Forest green, flecked with gold. The same eyes that had looked at her across a bonfire on a beach in Santa Cruz, sand between their toes, salt air in their lungs, promises whispered against her skin in the dark. Ethan Castellan. Her Ethan. Except he had never been hers. Not really. Thank you, Rachel. His voice was deeper now, controlled. Professional. Nothing like the way he used to say her name when they were tangled in hotel sheets, stealing weekends they both knew would end. The door clicked shut. Silence stretched between them like a chasm. Maya's hands tightened on her portfolio. You've got to be kidding me. Sit down. Not a request. A command. Ethan, I didn't know. Sit. Down. She sank into the chair across from his desk, her wet coat leaving marks on the leather. Her heart slammed against her ribs so hard she wondered if he could hear it. Ethan remained standing, arms crossed. The desk between them felt both like protection and punishment. When did you know? His jaw was tight, a muscle jumping beneath his stubbled cheek. 30 seconds ago. Maya's voice cracked. I swear. The job posting said Castellan Architecture. I didn't connect it to you. I thought you were still in San Francisco. I thought you were still with her. Something dark flashed across his face. Don't. Don't what? Mention your fiancé? The woman you chose over me. Ex-fiancé. The word came out like gravel. We ended it 2 years ago. The room tilted. Maya gripped the armrests. What? 6 months after you disappeared without a word. Ethan moved around the desk, each step deliberate, predatory. He stopped inches from her chair, close enough that she could smell him. Cedar and rain and something sharp, like anger mixed with longing. You want to talk about choices? You left. You blocked my number. You vanished like I meant nothing. Maya shot to her feet, refusing to let him tower over her. You were engaged. You stood there and told me you couldn't leave her, that your family expected it, that I was just supposed to understand and walk away quietly. So I did. I would have fought for you. His voice dropped to barely a whisper. If you had given me time. If you had trusted me. Trusted you. Her laugh was bitter, broken. You kept me a secret for 8 months, Ethan. I was the girl you called at midnight. The one who never met your friends, your family. The one who waited in hotel rooms while you went home to her. That's not fair. None of this is fair. Tears burned behind her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. I came here for a job. That's all. I didn't know you owned this company. I didn't know you were in Boston. Ethan's hand lifted, hovering near her face like he wanted to touch her but couldn't allow himself. You expect me to believe that? I don't care what you believe. Maya grabbed her portfolio and turned toward the door. This was a mistake. Wait. She froze, her hand on the doorknob. You're the most talented designer I've seen in 5 years. His words came slowly, painfully. Your portfolio is extraordinary. This company needs you. Maya looked back over her shoulder. What are you saying? Ethan's eyes met hers, and she saw war raging behind them. I'm saying the job is yours. If you want it. You can't be serious. I'm completely serious. He moved closer, and the air between them turned electric. We're adults. We can be professional. Can't we? Every instinct screamed at her to run. But rent was due in 2 weeks. Her bank account was bleeding. And this job, this opportunity, it was everything she had worked toward since she rebuilt herself from the wreckage he had left behind. Strictly professional, Maya said. No personal conversations. No mentions of California. We pretend the past doesn't exist. Agreed. She extended her hand. Then I accept. Ethan's fingers closed around hers, and the contact sent fire up her arm. His thumb traced her knuckles once, so quick she almost missed it. Welcome to Castellan Architecture, Miss Chen. He released her hand, but his eyes held hers for 3 seconds too long. Maya walked out with her spine straight and her hands shaking, knowing that nothing about this arrangement would stay professional. Knowing that some fires never really go out. They just wait. 3 weeks. Maya had survived 3 weeks of passing Ethan in hallways, of his voice in conference rooms, of pretending the space between them wasn't screaming with everything unsaid. She sat at her drafting table in the open studio, the office humming with Friday afternoon energy around her. Her oversized cream sweater hung off one shoulder, black jeans splattered with charcoal from sketching. Her hair fell loose today, dark waves catching the autumn light streaming through industrial windows. The Riverside project spread across her desk. Her design. Her vision. Glass and steel rising from the harbor like something pulled from a dream. It's perfect. Maya's pencil stopped. She didn't turn around, but her shoulders tensed. She knew his voice the way she knew her own heartbeat. Ethan leaned against the edge of her table, arms crossed over a gray Henley that did nothing to hide the shape of him. Dark stubble shadowed his jaw. He looked tired. He looked devastating. The client presentation is Monday, Maya said, keeping her eyes on her sketches. I'm still refining the interior concept. Maya. We agreed. Professional. Look at me. She shouldn't have. But she did. His green eyes were darker than usual, shadowed by something that looked like pain. I need to tell you something. About why Vanessa and I ended. I don't want to know. She cheated. The words came fast, sharp. Multiple times. With my business partner. In our bed. Maya's breath caught. Ethan. I found out 3 months after you left. Turns out everyone knew except me. My family knew. My friends knew. They all thought I should forgive her because our families have been connected for generations. His laugh was hollow. Because reputation matters more than truth. Why are you telling me this? Ethan pushed off the table, pacing. The studio had emptied around them without Maya noticing. Sunset painted everything amber and shadow. Because you thought I chose her over you. You thought I picked her because she was safe, acceptable, the right kind of woman for a Castellan. He stopped in front of Maya's chair, close enough that she had to tilt her head back to meet his eyes. But I was coming to choose you. I had the ring in my pocket when you blocked my number. I was going to burn it all down for you, Maya. All of it. The world narrowed to the space between them, to the ragged sound of his breathing, to the way his hands gripped the armrests of her chair, caging her in. You're lying. I have never lied to you. His voice cracked. Not once. Not ever. Maya stood, forcing him to step back. Her hands trembled as she gathered her sketches. This doesn't change anything. What we had was 3 years ago. We're different people now. Are we? Ethan caught her wrist, gentle but desperate. Because I still wake up reaching for you. I still hear your laugh in empty rooms. Tell me you don't feel it too. She couldn't. Because she did feel it. The pull. The ache. The way her body remembered his muscle memory, like coming home. Let me go. Maya. Let go, Ethan. He released her, but his eyes held hers captive. Have dinner with me. Tonight. Just dinner. 2 old friends catching up. We were never friends. Then what were we? Everything. Nothing. A beautiful disaster. One dinner, Maya heard herself say. Nowhere public. Nowhere anyone from the office will see. Something ignited behind his eyes. My place. 7 o'clock. I'll cook. Before she could change her mind, before logic could overpower the chaos in her chest, Maya nodded. She left him standing in the golden light, her heart hammering a warning she refused to hear. Ethan's apartment sat on the top floor of a converted warehouse, all exposed beams and floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the harbor. Maya stood in the doorway, wearing a simple black dress that hugged her curves, leather jacket over her shoulders, her hair swept up to show her neck. The smell of garlic and wine filled the space. Jazz played low from hidden speakers. You came. Ethan appeared from the kitchen, barefoot in dark jeans and a white button-down, sleeves rolled up. He looked at her like she was water, and he was dying of thirst. I almost didn't. But you did. He moved aside, letting her in. That counts for something. The table was set for two. Candles flickered. It looked like a date. It felt like a mistake. They ate. They talked. They circled around the past like dancers avoiding landmines, discussing art and architecture and anything that didn't involve the 8 months they had burned together in California. Wine loosened Maya's tongue. Why did you really hire me? Ethan set down his glass. Because you're brilliant. That's not the whole truth. No. He stood, moving to the window. The city glittered below them, 1,000 lights reflecting off black water. I hired you because the moment I saw your name on that application, I knew fate was giving me a second chance. And I'm not fool enough to waste it twice. Maya joined him at the window, the wine making her bold. This is dangerous. I know. We work together. There are rules. Policies. I wrote those policies. Ethan turned to face her, and the look in his eyes stopped her heart. I don't care about any of them. Not anymore. Ethan. Tell me you don't want this. His hand came up, fingers threading through her hair, tilting her face toward his. Tell me you don't think about California. About us. Tell me I'm alone in this, and I'll stop. She couldn't. Because God help her, she wanted him. Had never stopped wanting him. I can't do this again. Her voice broke. You destroyed me once. Then let me spend the rest of my life putting you back together. He kissed her. And Maya was lost. His mouth was urgent, desperate. 3 years of hunger poured into one moment. Her back hit the window, his body pressed against hers, hands everywhere, memorizing, reclaiming. Wait. Maya pushed against his chest, breathing hard. Wait. We need to think about this. I'm done thinking. Ethan's forehead pressed against hers. I've thought about nothing but you for 3 years. I'm done pretending. I'm done being careful. What about the company? Your reputation? Let it burn. His thumb traced her bottom lip. You're worth more than all of it. Maya's phone buzzed. Then buzzed again. And again. She pulled it from her clutch, her blood turning to ice as she read the screen. 7 messages. All from unknown numbers. All containing the same thing. Photos. Of her and Ethan. In his office 3 weeks ago. At her desk this afternoon. Entering his building tonight. The last message made her stomach drop. How much is your career worth? Let's talk. Monday. Come alone. Maya's hands shook so hard she nearly dropped the phone. What is it? Ethan reached for her. She showed him the screen. His face went white. Then red. Then hard as stone. Someone's been following us. Maya's voice came from far away. Someone knows. I'll handle this. How? How do you handle blackmail, Ethan? He pulled her close, but it felt different now. Tainted. I don't know. But I'm not letting anyone hurt you. Maya stepped out of his arms, grabbing her jacket. I need to go. I need to think. Maya, don't leave. Not like this. But she was already at the door, her mind spinning, her heart shredded. I never should have come here. She looked back at him, standing in the candlelight, looking lost. This was a mistake. We're a mistake. She left before he could see her cry. Outside, rain began to fall and Maya stood on the sidewalk, staring at the anonymous messages, wondering who hated them enough to destroy everything. Wondering if some loves were just cursed from the start. Monday morning came like an execution. Maya sat in the conference room at 8 a.m., hands folded on the glass table, her gray blazer buttoned to her throat. She wore her armor today. Black slacks, white blouse, hair scraped back, so tight it hurt. No weakness. No cracks. The anonymous texter had sent a location. Conference room B, 8 a.m. sharp. The door opened. Maya's world collapsed. Vanessa Harrington walked in like she owned the place, because in a way, she did. Platinum blonde hair in perfect waves, red dress that cost more than Maya's rent, heels that clicked like warning shots. She looked exactly like her photos from society pages. Beautiful. Polished. Venomous. Hello, Maya. Vanessa's smile was surgical. I've been dying to meet you. Maya's voice came out steady despite her racing heart. You sent the messages. Guilty. Vanessa settled into the chair across from her, crossing her legs. Though I prefer to think of it as protecting my investment. Investment. This company. Ethan. Vanessa examined her manicured nails. See, our families have been planning our merger for 20 years. Marriage. Business. Legacy. And then you showed up and almost ruined everything. You cheated on him. A temporary lapse in judgment. Vanessa waved her hand dismissively. Which I've apologized for extensively. His father has forgiven me. The board has forgiven me. Everyone who matters has moved on. Maya leaned forward. Ethan hasn't. Ethan is confused. Vanessa's eyes went cold. He thinks he wants you because you're different. Exotic. A little project to fix. But men like Ethan Castellan don't end up with women like you, Maya. They marry women like me. Is that what you told yourself while you were sleeping with his business partner? Vanessa's smile turned sharp. Careful. You're in no position to judge me when you're the one sleeping with your boss. We're not. Not yet. But you want to. Vanessa pulled out her phone, scrolling through photos. These are quite compelling. You two at his apartment Friday night. Very cozy. Very inappropriate for a CEO and his employee. What do you want? I want you gone. Vanessa set the phone down between them. Quit. Today. Disappear back to wherever you crawled from. And I'll delete these photos. No one will know about your little affair. Your reputation stays intact. And if I refuse? Then these go to the board. To the Architectural Licensing Committee. To every design firm in Boston. Vanessa's voice was honey over poison. You'll never work in this industry again. Ethan will face an ethics investigation. The company his family built over 4 generations will be destroyed. All because you couldn't keep your legs closed. Rage flooded Maya's veins. You have no idea what you're talking about. Don't I? Vanessa stood, smoothing her dress. I know exactly what you are, Maya. You're a phase. A distraction. The kind of girl men have fun with before they settle down with someone appropriate. Get out. I'm giving you until 5 p.m. to resign. Vanessa headed for the door, then paused. Oh, and Maya? Ethan came to my hotel 3 nights ago. We talked. We drank. We remembered why we worked. Her smile was victorious. He never mentioned you once. The door closed. Maya sat in the silence, her hands shaking, her mind reeling. Ethan had gone to see Vanessa. 3 nights ago. The same night Maya had sent him away, told him they were a mistake. Had she pushed him back into Vanessa's arms? She grabbed her phone, pulling up Ethan's contact. Her finger hovered over the call button. The door burst open. Ethan stormed in, phone in hand, eyes wild. He wore a navy suit today, tie loosened, hair disheveled like he'd been running his hands through it. Where is she? Gone. What did she say to you? Maya stood, creating distance. The truth, apparently. That you went to see her. That you're considering taking her back. What? No. Ethan crossed to her in 3 strides. Maya, whatever she told you is a lie. Did you go to her hotel? Silence. Damning. Heavy. Yes. His jaw tightened. But not for the reasons you think. Then why? Maya's voice cracked. Why would you go see your ex-fiancé days after kissing me? Because she called me. Told me she had something that could hurt you. I went to find out what. Ethan pulled out his phone, showing her messages. Look. She's been threatening both of us for weeks. I was trying to protect you. Maya stared at the screen. The messages were there. Threats. Demands. You should have told me. I was handling it. By going to her alone? Maya laughed bitterly. God, Ethan. We're back here again. You keeping secrets. Me finding out too late. That's not fair. None of this is fair. Maya grabbed her bag. She wants me gone. She has photos. She'll destroy both of us if I don't quit by 5 p.m. Then we fight her. With what? She's right. We're in violation of company policy. The board will side with her. Your family will side with her. Maya's eyes burned. I can't let you lose everything because of me. Not again. You are everything. Ethan's hands framed her face, desperate, pleading. Don't you understand that? I don't care about the company. I don't care about my family's approval. I care about you. You say that now. I mean it now. His forehead pressed against hers. 3 years ago, I wasn't strong enough. I let you go because I was scared of disappointing people who didn't deserve my loyalty. I won't make that mistake twice. Maya's phone buzzed. Another message. Time's ticking, Maya. What's it going to be? Your career or his? She showed Ethan the screen. His face went hard. I have a plan. But you have to trust me. What plan? I'm going to the board. Today. I'm telling them everything. About us. About Vanessa's blackmail. About the photos. That's insane. Maya pulled away. You'll lose your position. Maybe. But I'll do it on my terms. With the truth. Ethan's eyes held hers. And then I'm calling a press conference. I'm exposing every lie Vanessa has told, every manipulation. I'm burning it all down, Maya. For you. For us. Don't. Maya's voice broke. Don't sacrifice everything for me. It's not a sacrifice if you're what I'm choosing. He kissed her then, hard and desperate, like it might be the last time. When he pulled away, his eyes were fierce. Meet me at 6 p.m. At the harbor. Where you first showed me your design. Why? Because I'm going to prove to you that I'm done being afraid. He left before she could stop him. Maya stood in the conference room, her heart in pieces, knowing that whatever Ethan was about to do would change everything. At 4:57 p.m., her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. This is Helen Castellan. Ethan's mother. The voice was cold, cultured, cutting. I understand you've been causing problems for my family. I don't know what you mean. Don't play stupid, Miss Chin. Vanessa told us everything. About your affair with my son. About your attempts to manipulate him. Helen's voice dropped to ice. If you don't resign immediately and sign an NDA, I will personally ensure you never work in architecture again. I have lawyers who specialize in destroying careers like yours. Maya's blood went cold. Let me speak to Ethan. Ethan is in an emergency board meeting. Cleaning up your mess. Helen paused. He's a good boy. He'll do the right thing. He always does. Which means choosing his family. His legacy. His future. The line went dead. Maya sank into a chair, staring at her phone. She had two choices. Stay and watch Ethan burn his world down for her. Or leave and let him keep everything he had worked for. She knew what she had to do. At 5:30 p.m., Maya walked into HR and submitted her resignation letter. At 6 p.m., she stood at the harbor, wind cutting through her coat, watching the sun bleed into the water. Ethan appeared at 6:15, running, his suit jacket gone, his shirt half unbuttoned. Maya. He was breathless. I did it. I told them everything. The board is voting tomorrow, but I don't care what they decide. I'm free. We're free. Maya turned to face him, tears streaming down her face. I quit. The words tasted like ash. 2 hours ago. I'm leaving Boston. Ethan's face went white. What? No. Maya, no. I can't let you lose everything for me. You are everything. He reached for her, but she stepped back. I'm sorry. Maya's voice shattered. I love you too much to watch you destroy yourself. She walked away, ignoring his shouts, ignoring the sound of her name on his lips like a prayer, like a curse. She didn't look back. Some sacrifices, she told herself, were necessary. Even if they killed you. 2 months of silence. Maya stood in her studio apartment in Providence, surrounded by half-finished sketches and empty coffee cups. She wore an oversized flannel shirt, leggings, her hair in a messy knot. The December cold crept through the windows, but she barely felt it anymore. She had stopped feeling much of anything. Freelance work paid the bills barely. Small projects for clients who didn't ask questions about her abrupt departure from Castellan architecture. She worked through the nights, slept through the days, avoided social media where she might see his face. Her phone sat face down on the table, silent. Ethan had called 7 times the first week. Texted 89 messages. She had read every single one before blocking his number, memorizing his words like prayers she wasn't allowed to speak. Please come back. I need you to understand. This was my choice, not yours to make for me. I love you. I'll always love you. The knock on her door came at 11 p.m. Maya froze, pencil hovering over a sketch. Nobody knew where she lived. She had made sure of that. Another knock. Harder. She opened the door a crack. Rachel from HR stood in the hallway, snow melting on her burgundy coat, eyes tired and urgent. What are you doing here? Can I come in? Rachel didn't wait for an answer, pushing inside. We need to talk. About Ethan. Maya's heart stopped. Is he okay? No. Rachel pulled off her coat. He's not okay, Maya. He hasn't been okay since you left. That's not my problem anymore. Isn't it? Rachel's voice was sharp. Because from where I'm standing, you ran away and left him to face the consequences alone. Shame burned hot in Maya's chest. I was protecting him. Bullshit. You were protecting yourself. Rachel pulled out her phone, showing Maya a photo. Ethan. Thinner. Hollow-eyed. Standing outside the company building with a box in his hands. What is this? He resigned. 3 days after you left. Rachel swiped to another photo. The board voted to remove him after Vanessa's lawyers presented evidence of your relationship. Evidence that got a lot more damaging when you quit without explaining why. Maya's legs gave out. She sank onto her couch. No, his mother said he was in a board meeting. She said he was choosing his family. His mother lied. Rachel sat beside her. Helen Castellan has been working with Vanessa to get rid of you from the beginning. They forged correspondence. Manipulated timelines. Made it look like Ethan hired you because you were sleeping together, not because you were talented. The room spun. Why are you telling me this? Because Ethan doesn't know I'm here. Because he's been drowning for 2 months and refuses to reach out to you again after you blocked him. Rachel grabbed Maya's hands. Because tomorrow morning, Vanessa is announcing her engagement to Ethan. His mother orchestrated the whole thing. And if someone doesn't stop it, he's going to agree just to end the nightmare. He wouldn't. He's broken, Maya. He lost his company. His reputation. You. He has nothing left to fight for. So, what am I supposed to do? Show up and ruin his life even more? Rachel stood, heading for the door. She paused at the threshold. Did you know that after you resigned, Ethan found out the Riverside project was being shelved? The client wanted you specifically, and when you left, they pulled the contract. Maya's blood turned to ice. What? Ethan spent the last 2 months fighting to get that project back. Not for the company. For you. Rachel's eyes were bright with unshed tears. He tracked down the client personally. Convinced them to fund an independent studio. Your studio, Maya. With your name on it. Full creative control. Full ownership. Why would he do that? Because he loves you, you idiot. Rachel pulled an envelope from her pocket, setting it on the table. These are the contracts. The deed to a studio space in downtown Boston. And a letter from Ethan. Rachel. Read it. Don't read it. I don't care. Rachel opened the door. But know that tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., he's going to stand next to Vanessa and smile for the cameras and let everyone believe it was his choice. Unless you give him a reason not to. The door closed. Maya sat in the dark, staring at the envelope like it might explode. Her hands shook as she opened it. Maya, by the time Rachel gives you this, I'll have made peace with losing you. Or I'll be lying to myself that I have. I know why you left. I know you thought you were saving me. But you don't get to decide what I'm willing to sacrifice. You don't get to choose my battles for me. The studio is yours regardless of what happens between us. You earned it with your talent, your vision, your relentless refusal to compromise your art. It has nothing to do with me and everything to do with the fact that the world deserves to see what you can create. I'm not asking you to come back for me. I'm asking you to come back for yourself. But if you do come back, if you walk through that door, know that I'm done with half measures. Done with secrets. Done with letting other people dictate our story. I'm choosing you. I've always been choosing you. The question is, are you brave enough to choose me back? Yours. E. Maya read it 3 times before the tears came. She grabbed her phone, unblocked Ethan's number, and dialed. Straight to voicemail. She tried again. And again. On the 4th attempt, a woman answered. Ethan's phone. Vanessa. Let me talk to him. Maya Chin. How predictable. Vanessa's voice was silk over steel. I was wondering when you'd crawl back. Put Ethan on the phone. He's indisposed. Wedding planning is exhausting, you understand. There is no wedding. There will be. Tomorrow. 10 a.m. At the Four Seasons. Vanessa laughed. You really thought he'd wait for you forever? Men like Ethan need stability. Legacy. Things you could never provide. He doesn't love you. Love is overrated. Power is forever. Vanessa's voice dropped to a whisper. Give it up, Maya. You lost. Go back to your sad little apartment and your pathetic drawings. Let Ethan have the life he deserves. The line went dead. Maya stood in her apartment, her heart hammering, her mind racing. Tomorrow. 10 a.m. The Four Seasons. She had 12 hours to decide if she was brave enough to fight for him. To crash an engagement announcement. To risk everything one more time. She looked at the contract on her table. At the letter in her hands. At the sketch of the Riverside project, her dream made real. Ethan had given her everything. Her career. Her future. Her chance to be extraordinary. The question was, what was she willing to give him? Maya grabbed her coat and her keys. She had a drive to Boston to make. And a wedding to stop. Because some loves were worth burning the world down for. Even if you were the one holding the match. The Four Seasons ballroom glittered like a battlefield dressed in diamonds. Maya stood in the back, her black wool coat buttoned to her throat, jeans tucked into boots, hair wild from the 3-hour drive through snow. She looked nothing like the polished crowd in designer suits and silk dresses, sipping champagne and murmuring about dynasty and power. She looked like someone who had driven through a blizzard with her heart in her throat. The stage was set. Podium. Microphone. Enormous screens displaying the Castellan and Harrington family crests intertwined. Vanessa held court at the front in a cream dress that probably cost more than Maya's car, her hand possessively on Ethan's arm. And Ethan. Maya's breath caught. He stood like a ghost of himself. Charcoal suit perfectly tailored, white shirt, burgundy tie. His face was carefully blank, his eyes distant. He looked like a man who had stopped fighting. A man who had accepted his sentence. Helen Castellan approached the microphone, her silver hair swept into an elegant chignon, pearls at her throat. She smiled at the cameras like a queen addressing her subjects. Thank you all for coming on this joyous occasion. Maya's hands clenched at her sides. Today, we celebrate not just the reunion of 2 hearts, but the merging of 2 legacies. Helen gestured to Ethan and Vanessa. My son and Vanessa have known each other since childhood. They've weathered storms, as all great loves do. And today, they're choosing each other. Choosing family. Choosing forever. The crowd applauded. Maya felt sick. Helen continued. Ethan would like to say a few words. Ethan moved to the microphone like a man walking to his execution. He gripped the podium, his knuckles white. Thank you for being here. His voice was steady, practiced, dead. Vanessa and I have a long history. Our families have been intertwined for generations. Maya pushed forward through the crowd. People shot her annoyed looks as she elbowed past them, but she didn't care. She's been a constant in my life. Ethan's eyes scanned the crowd, unseeing. Someone who understands the weight of legacy. The importance of duty. Maya was 10 feet from the stage now. 5 feet. Which is why. Ethan paused, his jaw tightening. Which is why I need to tell you all the truth. Vanessa's smile faltered. I don't love her. Gasps rippled through the ballroom. Helen started toward the stage. Ethan. I don't love her. Ethan's voice grew stronger. I never have. Not the way a husband should love a wife. Not the way I love. He looked up. His eyes found Maya in the crowd. Time stopped. I love someone else. Ethan stepped away from the podium, away from Vanessa's reaching hands, his eyes locked on Maya. Someone I've spent 2 months trying to forget. Someone I pushed away because I thought I was protecting her. Someone I'm done living without. The crowd parted as he walked toward her. Maya's heart slammed against her ribs. Ethan stopped in front of her, close enough to touch, his eyes searching hers desperately. You came. I came. Her voice cracked. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I left. I thought I was saving you, but I was just running. You're here now. That's all that matters. Ethan, step away from her this instant. Helen's voice cut through the moment like a blade. Ethan didn't look away from Maya. No, you're making a fool of yourself. Of this family. Then I'm a fool. Ethan's hand found Maya's, his fingers threading through hers. I spent 3 years being the son you wanted, the CEO you needed, the perfect Castellan heir. And I was miserable. Every single day. He turned to face the crowd, pulling Maya close to his side. This woman is Maya Chin. She's the most talented architect I've ever met. She's brilliant and stubborn and braver than anyone in this room. His voice rang out clear and strong. And I hired her because of her portfolio. Because she deserved the job. Not because we had a relationship. That's not true. Vanessa stepped forward, her face twisted with rage. You've been sleeping together since California. We met in California, yes. Ethan's arm tightened around Maya. We fell in love. And then I was too much of a coward to choose her over family expectations. Over you. Over the life everyone else wanted for me. He looked back at Maya. But I'm not a coward anymore. Ethan. Maya's eyes filled with tears. Your mother said you chose the board meeting over me. That you were cleaning up my mess. My mother lied. Ethan's voice went hard. She and Vanessa have been manipulating both of us from the beginning. The board meeting was to discuss Vanessa's blackmail. The photos she took. The threats she made. Vanessa lunged forward. You have no proof. Don't I? Rachel appeared from the crowd, holding up a tablet. I have emails. Text messages. Recorded phone calls of you and Helen Castellan plotting to destroy Maya's career. To force Ethan into this engagement. The crowd erupted in whispers. Helen's face went white. That's attorney-client privilege. You're not my attorney anymore, Mother. Ethan's voice was ice. As of this morning, I've severed all ties with Castellan family lawyers. With the family trust. With everything you've used to control me. You're making a mistake. Helen's voice shook. You'll have nothing. I'll have everything that matters. Ethan turned back to Maya, his hands framing her face. I'll have her. If she'll still have me. Maya looked up at him, this man who had just destroyed his entire world for her, and felt her last defenses crumble. I have something to tell you too. She pulled the contract from her coat pocket. I got your letter. About the studio. About the Riverside project. Maya. And I'm not taking it. She pressed the papers against his chest. Not like this. Not as some consolation prize. Not as your way of saying goodbye. Pain flashed across his face. Then what do you want? I want a partner. Maya's voice grew stronger. An equal. Someone who builds with me, not for me. Someone who fights beside me instead of trying to protect me from battles I can handle myself. I can do that. Ethan's forehead pressed against hers. I want to do that. And I want you to know that I'm terrified. Tears streamed down her face. I'm terrified that we'll hurt each other again. That we'll fail. That this won't be enough. Then we'll be terrified together. His thumb caught her tears. We'll fail together. We'll fight and break and put each other back together as many times as it takes. Your family will hate me. My family doesn't get a vote anymore. The industry will talk. Let them talk. Ethan smiled, and it was the first real smile she had seen on him in months. I'm done caring what anyone thinks except you. Maya laughed through her tears. This is insane. Completely. He pulled her closer. So, Maya Chin, will you take a chance on us? On building something new together? No secrets. No running. No letting anyone else write our story. She looked at him. Really looked. At the man who had just burned down his entire life for the chance to be with her. At the future they could build if she was brave enough to reach for it. Yes. The word came out strong. Clear. Yes, I choose you. I choose us. Ethan kissed her in front of everyone, in front of his mother's horrified face and Vanessa's rage and the cameras flashing like stars exploding. He kissed her like she was oxygen and he was drowning. Like she was home. When they pulled apart, the ballroom was in chaos. People shouting. Cameras clicking. Vanessa screaming that she would sue. Helen demanding security remove Maya from the premises. Ethan took Maya's hand. Ready to get out of here? Where are we going? Anywhere. Everywhere. His eyes were bright with something that looked like freedom. We'll figure it out as we go. They walked out of the Four Seasons into the December cold, snow falling soft and clean around them. What happens now? Maya asked, her hand tight in his. Now we start over. Ethan stopped on the sidewalk, turning to face her. We build your studio. Our studio. We create something beautiful that's entirely ours. We stop letting other people define what our life should look like. And your family? Will come around or they won't. He cupped her face in his hands. But I'm done sacrificing my happiness for their approval. Maya leaned into his touch. I love you. I should have said it before. I should have fought harder. You're saying it now. You're fighting now. Ethan kissed her forehead, her cheeks, her lips. That's all I need. They stood in the falling snow, two people who had burned down their safe lives for the chance to build something real. It wouldn't be easy. They would face lawsuits and gossip and the weight of their choices. They would fight and doubt and struggle to trust after so many wounds. But they would do it together. Maya looked up at the man who had chosen her over everything, whose hand held hers like an anchor and a promise. So, what's the first thing we do as partners? She asked. Ethan smiled, and it reached his eyes for the first time in months. We go get your sketches from Providence. And then we start designing the future. Together. Together. They walked into the snow, leaving behind the wreckage of what they had been, reaching toward what they could become. Some loves weren't meant to be safe. Some loves were meant to burn. And from the ashes, something new could rise. Something worth every sacrifice. Something worth choosing. Again and again. The end.